ladies and gentlemen, an act of discrimination has been cast onto humanity. I have learned the most awful, discrepant act of discrimination I've ever seen. Okay? Get this. When you smelt a cactus in Java, you get 1 XP point, but when you smelt it on Bedrock here at our home, you get 0.2, a fifth of what Java's supposed to get. This will not go unpunished. We shall destroy the shackles of hostile society. We must destroy those who oppose us. They must bring 1 XP per cactus to Bedrock Edition. Anyway, how's it going? I don't know. Like, I'm a person that barely even does a whole lot with cacti. Hmm. I just want to look at cactus. Cactus are so cool to look at in this game. Like, it kind of has those weird feelings, you know? But it's so perplexing. But you don't know what makes it perplexing. Like, it's like, no, you don't need this, but it's interesting to, I don't know how to describe it. So you're telling me there's a cactus this tall? That's what the tallest cactus in the world is. Apparently, these coders discovered a cactus which height was over 20 blocks. I know the official record is 19. They might have found a 20 block tall cacti. You'll be surprised. There's an entire community dedicated around giant cacti. It's actually insane. I'm sorry, I have to clip though. This is the reaction when they found the tallest cactus in the world. I can't tell you how many times I found 4 cactus. However, take my word on it, on an old version of Minecraft, I did find a 5 block tall cactus a very long time ago. Like, a very long time ago, I found like a big cactus. Yeah, I need to go back to my Sorry, folks. I had to own the throne real quick. That's all I was saying. Oh, no, don't tear off my freaking table. I paid $200 worth of hard-earned money. It took me 2 months to earn the table. Meanwhile, it'd take me a week to get the money to get it back. Well, I'm gonna play the clip.
Cactus?
The reaction, though.
That's a real cactus?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And they break it on accent.
12.
That's hilarious. Okay, I want to react to this video. It is... Oh my god, where can I find it? Entire history of Minecraft useful items became useless. Tip, or question. What is a item you have never used, have never had a use, or anything? I am a Minecraft player. Let me see if I can find that video again. I'll search it up. Useful MC items that became useless. I'm a person in the game that tries to use everything. Like, I have a use for anything. And I think the most unused thing I have is the one item I think that should have rightfully been removed from the game a long time ago. That is the minecart furnace. Who uses the minecart furnace? Nobody, because now they're removed from the game. I don't think it existed. So, the minecart furnace, to push it, you put coal in it, and it'd last for a while. So, which is pretty cool, but if you do that, you have a that level a while. Here's the problem with the minecart furnace, is that it was stuck on the track. I don't know if I don't know if you know this. Minecart is going down the track. Like if it's a minecart, right? The minecart will push the minecart away, and it'll reflect back. So let me see if I can reproduce that, what I just said. Right? So you have your minecart, and then you... See, yeah, look. So let's say this minecart is stuck at the end of this minecart. When I push this, it hits, and it sends them back in opposite direction. This can be a problem if you have a one-way minecart system, and it has ruined some of my designs in the past. Sadly. So yeah, you get what I'm saying. That's a problem. Okay, let's watch the video. Useful Minecraft items that have become useless. There's a video. See if I can find it. I'm sorry. This should take long. I can get myself down. Oh, exact video. Minecraft items. There we go. It's by
Minecraft is an absolutely massive game, and a large part of that has to do with the content
Actually,
each game receives.
I'm sorry, I have to say this. Okay, how many square meters are on Earth, right? It's a big question. How many square meters is on Earth? 5.10 million square kilometers, right? Okay. Now, 12 million to the second power. Now, let's get some math going, okay? So, 12... How wide is a Minecraft world? Isn't it like 1 million blocks? How wide is a Minecraft world? It's like 12 million blocks, right? World can extend 300 million blocks in each direction. So that means that 60 million, right? To the second. And we get a nice, 3.6 times 10 to the 15th power. Now, okay, square meters to square kilometers, right? Now, let's take this number, 3.6 times 10 to the 15th. 3.6 times 10 to the 15th. And we get 3.6 times 10 to the 6th. I think. I don't know. I'm going to watch the video. I don't want to waste your time.
Over time, more and more items...
I think Minecraft's world is bigger than ours. But anyway, I hate to break this news to you, buddy, but Minecraft is not an infinite game. Because if it was an infinite game, we'd have to have an infinite amount of drives. Infinite amount of hard drives means an infinite amount of matter, and that does not exist. That breaks the law of conservation of matter. Minecraft's worlds do have a limit. Everything in this universe has a limit, except for the universe itself, which is always growing in size. If I'm not wrong, it does always grow in size. But you kind of get the point. Hey, let's see.
Craft more fun and interesting. However, when new items get added to the game, they aren't always completely different from features that came before. Sometimes a new item will be added that accomplishes a very similar goal to an item that is already in the game. If the items are too similar, or the new one is just a significant upgrade, then it risks making the old item completely irrelevant. I've been playing Minecraft for over a decade now, and over time I've seen several features that were once incredibly important become next to useless. Today, I want to take a look at some of these features that once had a really good use, but through updates eventually lost it. Now, I'm not going to be covering items that have always been useless, sorry Poisonous Potato fans, because I think it's more interesting to see how the game evolved over time. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right to the first feature that became useless. First, I want to start with the item that actually inspired me to make this video. Now, before I say what this item was, I need to give a bit of context first. When you place down a chest in Minecraft, you can place another chest next to it to make a double.
There you go.
Very shocking and
the thing is, well, actually, you know what? You're right. It is an infinite game. Theoretically, yes, it is. Because with coding, we can... Yeah, you're right. Infinite fields can exist on computers. Literally, just go, if I'm not wrong... God, I can't remember the site. It's a really useful site for school. It's like a graphing calculator, right? But a graphing calculator can build a plane... a two-dimensional plane in all directions. However, I think I agree with you. You actually helped me out there here. I'm sorry I can't talk. You helped me out here. Yes, it is infinite, but the size of which you can... Actually, I should say this first. It is infinite. I'm sorry if I'm going everywhere. It is infinite, but everything is not loaded. For example, right here, I want to say like about 200, 300 blocks to my north. Actually, like 500 blocks that direction. But make a line and then draw a 200 or 300 block radius. That's what's loaded, right? There are that are not loaded. The reason that they're not loaded is that if they were, it would not matter. It would die. My 5 would die if it weren't loaded. When you start a new Minecraft world, it is nothing. However, sorry, give me a second. Let me see if I can find a piece of paper, right? I'm sorry if I'm not. If you want to play the game, just tell me. See that little dot? Imagine that little dot is you, right? This is the entire world, not, like this is simplified. When you spawn in, this is what's loaded. This exists, right? This exists, but it's not going to load until you enter those chunks. Now let's say you go a little bit north, right? You go a little bit north, like this. Those chunks are going to load. This will exist, or so to say, it always exists, right? It always exists, but it's not loaded yet. It's like it's invisible, and as you explore your world, the curtains go away. I hope I'm making sense. I sound like I'm not.
I know, but what you may not know is that you originally could.
However, again, going back now, when I go back to what I said before, it is infinite. However, the more you explore your world, the bigger its file size will get, which brings up a very worrying thing. If your file size gets too big, it will corrupt, which is actually, it sucks that I have to have this rule in place, but I have a rule that says do not explore until I say so. And I hate to have that rule, but if people explore my world, if I can't save it, like if I can't like make a backup and explore and make the file too big, stuff goes bad. I have a 400 megabyte file and it is like corrupted. It's playable, but everything's cut in half as new and old terrain chunks are existent. So yeah, it is infinite, but it depends on your hardware. I mean, like, look at 2B2T, right? That size of that server, the last time I checked, was 6 terabytes. That's a big file. Like, even for like general files, that is a big file. That would take up my entire storage hard drive, which I'm not going to show you it because, I'd have to disconnect it, which would ruin my PS5. My 7 drive is like this big, probably 6 inches, 7 inches long, about 1.5 inches wide, and about 4 inches tall, maybe. Not 4 inches, but like 5 inches tall. It's a very kind of compact box. Like, imagine like a little CD player, like I don't know, like something that would play CDs. That's that size. Yeah, that's. Sorry.
Next to a double chest, at least in survival. Yeah, you could do it with the command and creative mode, but 1, that's cheating, don't be that guy, and 2, it wouldn't place the chest normally. It would actually become a triple chest, completely breaking the interface. While the glitch was pretty funny, it was kind of annoying not being able to place chests next to each other. Well, in the 1.5 update, we actually got a bit of a solution to the problem in the form of the trap chest.
Trap chest.
This acts exactly the same as a normal chest, but it will give off a redstone signal.
If you go too far, that pushes the game to its limits. You will fall through the world. Blocks do not like to generate. In fact, it makes this grid pattern. It's very weird. Oh yeah, he's talking about like you couldn't place a chest right here. However, you might get this like, oh no, I want chest. Building tip, watch this. Boom. With a trap chest, they don't like to combine with other chests. So you can make interfaces like that. Or, oh yeah, the hitboxes. Yeah, you're right, coding. Because right here, what a block in Minecraft is it's a box where entities cannot go through. In my opinion, there's two masses in Minecraft. There are blocks and entities. Entities are players, animals, projectiles, and more. Falling gravel counts as an entity. Falling anvils, cows, arrows, snowballs, all that counts as an entity. And I don't have to explain what blocks are. You kind of get when I'm going, or where I'm going. So, by the rule of Minecraft, yeah, all that. An entity is not the rule of, like, you know, physics in Minecraft. An entity is not allowed to pass through a block. The only mob that bypasses this rule is the most common, famed, and feared Vex. However, when you go out that far, it loads the texture of said block, but the hitboxes do not exist. Just like my dad, who went to go get milk.
Perfect for absolutely trolling your friends.
Okay.
However, this also has the additional benefit of not combining with normal chests, meaning you could place a double chest right next to a double trap chest without any issue. This made bulk storage significantly easier. I know I personally use trap chests a ton to make compact storage units. Sure, it was a bit annoying having to craft trap chests using tripwire hooks, though not as annoying as you may think. We'll get to that later, but it was certainly worth it for the reward you got.
That's nice. Like where naturally generated. Nice.
In update 1.13, being the update aquatic, chests were finally allowed to be placed next to double chests without
Wait, what?
As you may think, we'll get to that later, but it was certainly worth it for the reward you got. But finally, in update 1.13, being the update aquatic, chests were...
What? You couldn't place double chest next to each other since update aquatic? No way. I remember when chests were blocks. You see, chests... I'll get on topic, but chests, you could see that if you place it here, there's one block gap between the chest. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Huh, weird.
Finally allowed to be placed next to double chests without requiring a block in between them. So thus, essentially overnight, the trap chest lost its pretty much main feature at that point. Now yes, the item is not completely useless, it still does have the redstone functionality after all, but be honest, when was the last time you used this? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they should totally make it rarely spawn in desert temples to activate the TNT trap. That'd be pretty funny. In a single player setting though, the trap chest isn't really helpful for anything anymore. Can't say this was a bad change though, I mean it really should have been this way from the start. So while yes, this is heartbreaking for trap chest fans everywhere, I am happy I never have to make one again. Alright, here's one that I suspect may be a bit controversial on it if it's become useless or not. The anvil in Minecraft— no, I'm not going to argue the anvil is useless, calm down. The anvil in Minecraft has 4 main uses. 1 to let you enchant items with enchantment books or combining them with other enchanted items. 2 to let you repair items using materials or other tools. 3 to let you rename items. And 4... now of these uses, 3 are still pretty important, but number 2, the ability to repair items, is really pointless now. Sure, it sounds good. I mean, you get to repair...
oh yeah, okay. The mending enchantment. And plus, the anvil, the only time I repair things with an anvil is if I'm repairing what's called a bow that has infinity on it. That's the only reason I ever do.
Tools for only a material and a few XP. It can take a lot of effort to get the enchantments on your gear, so keeping them alive for longer sounds like only a good thing. Well, 1.9 added mending, so yeah, don't use an anvil. For those of you that don't know, mending lets you repair anything that has the enchantment automatically by simply holding it or wearing it once you...
for combining enchantments, I think what he's trying to do is combining diamonds in order to fix a
thing. Don't have to worry about the anvil's stupid too expensive gimmick, since it gets more and more expensive to repair gear each time you do it. Now some of you may argue that getting mending can be difficult. Have you ever tried? It's, in my opinion, way easier to get than constantly needing to gather more materials to repair gear. So while the anvil as a whole still obviously has its very important uses, this isn't one of them. Speaking of mending, it used to be a lot harder to actually obtain. It's what is known as a treasure enchantment, meaning it can't be gotten from the enchantment table. Instead, you'll have to find it in structures, from villagers, or from fishing, which is what I want to take a look at now. Fishing has been in the game for years. Of course, you could get fish from it for food, but the main exciting thing you could get were enchanted items, including other fishing rods, bows, and books. There were a bunch of other pretty helpful items too, like tripwire hooks, which could be used to craft trap chests, but books were the main one. With the addition of mending in 1.9, it led to the popularity of Minecraft AFK fishing farms. Basically, you could make a small setup by using a bit of redstone, holding down your mouse, and leaving your computer on overnight, and when you came back, you would have a ton of items. This used to be one of the main ways to get mending. I personally spent several days at farms like this back when they were popular to get all the enchantments I'd ever need. However, Mojang clearly did not like this farm, as almost every update completely broke it, requiring people to constantly develop new versions. As of now, AFK fishing farms require a massive setup as the requirements to get treasure loot from fishing was adjusted, now needing the bobber to have an open 5x4x5 water area. If this was the only thing holding back AFK fishing farms though, then they'd still probably be very useful. But then 1.14 happened. See, this was the Village to Village update, which introduced the new villager mechanics to the game. That meant it was now extremely easy to get villagers to trade you any book you wanted. Yes, including mending. All you would have to do is constantly place and destroy a lectern 10 quadrillion times until they give it to you.
For the real fans.
That's hilarious.
Oreo frozen treats.
I just like normal Oreos.
DirecTV is a leader in sports, but Jeff doesn't have DirecTV, so he's watching baseball.
I didn't watch TV. Yeah, spending book. I'm trying to figure out what I should do here.
Mobs now, so you can just kill them and get food much faster. Fishing definitely took a massive hit, and while I do still like fishing with my friends on servers to relax sometimes, it's in all honesty not very practical. Alright, I'm bored of these somewhat useless ones. Let's talk about one that literally has no use anymore, the ocelots. You can find these guys in jungles, and you used to be able to
Dude,
tame them in
the cats.
Not only are they a cute pet, nothing on dogs, but you know, but they also had the exactly like ocelots did before, but were now much more common because they could just spawn in villages. The real kicker though is that they made ocelots completely untamable in this update too. Now it's honestly just a glorified bat. Only
yeah.
being different because the ocelot is required for the 2x2 advancement, where you need to breed every mob in the game. So,
You can
yeah,
breed
all the things
ocelots
I've
still?
said, and probably will say
I think I
this
remember that,
would
but I
be
just
more
forgot.
made to have a use, I guess. But the ocelot, no, they just straight up killed this thing. Oh yeah, I was scrolling the wiki, and for some reason they just randomly removed one of the ocelot's legs at one point before giving it back. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of funny. Next, I want to talk about a structure that has honestly always disappointed me a bit, but somehow got way worse as time went on. That being the Woodland Mansion.
Okay, I
It's
kind of
really
get
rare,
this.
Massive structures that can be found in the Dark Oak Forest. They have a variety of different interesting rooms. Okay, well, interesting is kind of a stretch. They aren't really that helpful. Most chests literally give the same loot dungeon chests do. Sure, there are a few rare rooms that give you diamond blocks, but yeah, it's mostly just kind of a
I'm
letdown.
trying to find out what I do with
From a
this.
chest and block loot perspective, as the main reason you'd want to come to the mansion is for the Illagers. This was the only place Vindicators and Evokers could spawn, both of which drop some pretty solid items. The Vindicator gave the player emeralds, but more importantly, the Evokers gave the player the Totem of Undying. This is one of the most helpful items in the game, as it can
I hate when people have to go out to go find these things. I hate when people are like, oh, let's go find a Woodland Mansion. Dude, you are not going to do that. You're going to generate thousands of blocks. You're going to double, triple my size of my file, and then you're going to find nothing. Or raid farms, infinite totems. The only reason you'd ever want to go to one of these things is to get a non-raid evoker for like a mob collection. Or that, it's just kind of useless.
completely save players from
I'm sorry.
I know when I play, I am constantly holding one. An item that powerful being exclusive to a structure like this made coming here more than worthwhile, even if it was
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a way.
Keep in mind though that this structure was very rare, often spawning over 10,000 blocks away from the world spawn. Luckily, you could get maps from cartographers to lead you there, because otherwise it would be an absolute pain to hunt for. Heck, even with the map, it could still be very tedious. But luckily
How
for
tall
us,
is this? Can I fit
after a
every
while,
color on the
Village Village
spectrum?
update changed how we needed to go about collecting this. During raids, Invokers were one of the mobs that would participate in them, giving the player much easier access to the totem. In fact, it could now even be farmed, which meant that there was literally zero reason to go out of
might.
your way to find a Woodland Mansion. Now, if you start a world and spawn near one, yeah, they could still help, but that's almost never going to happen. Luckily for you Woodland Mansion fans, though, 1.20 is actually saving the structure a bit. If you've been living under a rock, 1.20 is adding in armor trims to the game, and several structures get their own exclusive variant. The Woodland Mansion is going to be one of them, being the only place where the Vex pattern spawns. This is one of my favorite trim designs as well, so I guess once that update rolls out, the structure will get a slight use back. but this video is being filmed during 1.19, so I still get to include it. With structures like the Woodland Mansion often requiring thousands of blocks to be traveled in order to find one.
Have you seen Chunk Base? These things do not spawn.
I'm just gonna cut to the chase with this one. The Elytra is the best method. It lets you fly at incredibly high speeds anywhere you want to with only the cost of durability and fireworks, which are no problem when you have mending and a creeper farm. With such a powerful and fun method of transportation, it basically killed all other transportation features.
Wait a second. Speaking of each chunk, what if I did it each biome?
But did it really? I hear the sentiment a lot among the Minecraft community saying that the Elytra are overpowered and that there's no reason to not use it. Well, I don't really think it's a problem because it does have a few downsides like I mentioned, and it's just simply fun, so I don't mind it being strong. However, I want to take a look at some of Minecraft's other transportation methods to discuss if the Elytra truly made them useless. First off is the one that likely comes to your mind first, the minecart. This is used to travel over rails to get from one location to
I will say the minecart is good for automated transport if you want to not use any hoppers.
A ton of rails to set up. But it's not useless, as it has one thing the Elytra doesn't, the fact that it can carry mobs. The minecart is able to pick up most mobs in front of it and move them wherever the player desires, which I think is the main use for this item nowadays. Plus, minecarts can also be used as seats for flying machines, so transportation isn't completely out of the question for these guys either. Yes, they're definitely worse than Elytra, but they still have their uses. Boats are another story, however, because they still might be on a similar level to the Elytra. Compared to
Dude,
minecarts,
minecarts got nerfed. In Legacy, they would go flying, dude. Like, those minecarts, back in the day, would go stupid fast. Like, you'd almost have trouble catching up with a horse. Nowadays, they're slow as hell. You can't even do anything with them.
are much cheaper, as for only 5 wooden
They're like,
planks,
they're like what? Like,
body of water.
75% of the speed they had when they were
This is extremely
before they were
helpful
nerfed.
for traveling early game, as you almost always encounter a large body of water. This can also carry mobs, with the additional benefit of the player being able to control the boat at the same time. This does have the downside of not being able to go up a block, but over water and flat surfaces, the boat sails pretty well. But one of the biggest things that still make the boat have a chance against the Elytra are the fact that they can actually go faster. Not in standard water, but if you take the time to set up a blue ice bridge, then the boat will be able to go at speeds the Elytra can only dream of. Yes, that takes a lot of time to set up, but man, the results are worth it. So in my opinion, boats are just as helpful as ever. But the third major transportation method is the one that I think got hurt from the Elytra the most. The horse. These used to be the main way to travel on land, as they could be controlled, didn't require much setup, and could even jump up blocks. But in comparison to the Elytra, they're just slower and more annoying. I mean, you can't even ride them over water, making any small river a massive pain. I guess you could argue horses are somewhat helpful early game, but it's not much harder to get an Elytra once you find a saddle. Really, horses are only used for leather these days, but even then, just set up a cow farm. Hey, at least they're better than riding pigs. They were never useful. Okay, here's a bit of an obscure one you guys may not remember, but it's actually from a fairly recent update. The Wandering Trader is widely regarded as being mostly worthless. I think he's a little bit better than people give him credit for, but that's only because I played a lot of Skyblock where he's basically essential. It mostly comes down to his trades being pretty mid at best. There's almost never a time where trading with him would be cheaper than just finding the item yourself. But there were 2 items in the past that you could only get through the Wandering Trader, which significantly boosted its helpfulness. During this time in the game, I remember always scrambling to see their trades whenever one appeared in hopes that they would have.
Oh, before the Case of Cliffs features, like, what's it called? They had, like, Drip Leaf, and back then you couldn't actually find the biome, so the Wandering Trader was the only way to get this. I wonder if that's why he's talking to.
But see, the Wandering Trader was the only way to obtain the small Drip Leaf item.
Yeah.
Drip Leaf as well. If you weren't around at the time, like less than 2 years ago, the Caves and Cliffs update was split into 2, as the Generation was giving the Mojang team a bit of finding these in lush caves like you would today, you had to get them from Wandering Traders. What made this extra annoying was the fact that unlike normal drip leaves, small drip leaves can't be farmed. So every time you wanted more, you'd have to wait on the Wandering Trader to eventually give you the trade. And even then, you could only get 10 at a time. Yeah, this was a very painful period. It was obviously never meant to be permanent, but I thought it'd be fun to relive the absolute agony this caused me and my friends for a good few months. Now I want to take a look at 2 crafting recipes that still exist in the game, but basically have no reason to ever use. First off, we have the one for stairs. Now, if anyone has ever built with these, which I'm sure is most of you, you know that this crafting recipe is
Just use a stone cutter.
You use 6 blocks but only get 4 stairs in return? Yeah, that's a complete ripoff. Luckily though, in the Village and Pillage update, the stone cutter was added, which allowed you to more easily craft the thousands of variants of the stone blocks. I absolutely love this item. I mean,
We need to get a sawmill so we can do the same with wood.
That's how much I use this. Along with just being a more simple way to craft stone-related blocks, it also provided a way to get more stairs out of the same number of materials. Now you can get 1 stair per block, which is way better than 1 stair per 1.5 blocks. mechanics. The old crafting recipe for stairs does still exist though, which means that it's basically completely useless as it's just a waste of materials. Sadly, woodblocks still use the old ones, so I suggest Mojang adding in a woodcutter. Or just fix the stair crafting recipe already. The other crafting recipe I want to take a look at here also has to do with a new workstation introduced in the Village and Village update. Maps are some of my favorite items to play around with in Minecraft because it's fun to display how your world is laid out. Normally I prefer using the 1-to-1 map size where each block represents a pixel. However, the item does have the ability to fit out if you want to. Originally this was done by surrounding a map with 8 pieces of paper, but now you can just use the cartography table and only use 1 piece of paper to do the same. The old recipe is still in the game though, so that definitely qualifies as something useless. The final item I want to take a look at is one that many people often forget about, the Furnace Minecart. Now I know what some of you may be thinking, this had a use? Yeah, believe it or not, it actually kinda did. A long, long time ago. Right now I'm sure most people don't even know what it does. I personally used to think it was literally just a furnace in a minecart, which yeah, I guess that would make sense, but it works very differently. Basically, when you put it on a track and click it with coal, it moves. Wow. Okay, what I haven't mentioned yet is that it has the ability to push other minecarts along a track so long as it's powered. For a time, this could be used to give some power to your rails and let minecarts basically move on their own, only requiring some coal every now and then. You could even make trains with this, as you could connect several minecarts together and have the furnace pull them all forward. But yeah, powered rails were added, so absolutely no one even thinks about this item anymore. I guess you could argue that it could be cheaper to use the furnace minecarts, but come on, minecarts are already not looking good use-wise. If you want to use them, do it right. But anyways, that's it for this video. Do you prefer crafting your deep slate tile stairs at the crafting table and hate me for calling the recipe useless? Let me know in the comments. So a little bit of unfortunate channel news. I am likely going to have a very shaky upload schedule this April and early May because I have a lot of other things I need to work on, but as soon as that's done, I'll be right back to the weekly uploads. Just thought I should let you all know just in case I miss more Saturday uploads in the future. But anyways, dry bones for Smash, and I'll see you guys next time.
That is actually pretty cool. Making all mobs.
Venturing into the unknown takes courage, even without having to worry about fighting bugs. A few drops of K9 Advantage 2 kills.
There are a lot of things that make Minecraft such a phenomenal game. The building, the mining, the crafting, and so much more go into making this one of my favorite games of all time. One of the most popular aspects about the game, though, has to be the mobs. These are either friendly or hostile creatures that bring the Minecraft world alive. Everything from the pig to the ender dragon and the very iconic mule all count as mobs. However, some mobs are worse than others. So today, for my first purely Minecraft video in a long time, we're going to be ranking them from worst to best. Now, how exactly are we going to be ranking these mobs? Well, I'm pretty much considering two things here. First off is, of course, usefulness in survival mode. Does the mob allow you to get any important resource? Does it have a specific mechanic that makes it helpful in some other way? If the answer is yes, then it more than likely will end up placing highly on the list. The second category, though, is a bit more controversial, and that's just how much I like the mob in general based on their design, sounds, and mechanics. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that one, but I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. One last note before we start. Mobs with spawn eggs, plus the Wither and Ender Dragon. Sorry to all 3 Illusioner fans out there. This video was recorded during the 1.19 update, so anything after that has not been added to the game yet, so they won't be here. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because I'd really like to make more Minecraft videos in the future. But with that said, let's jump right into the worst mob. I think this might just be the single least controversial thing I've said in any ranking.
That.
The Phantom sucks.
Oh, yeah,
Essentially
Phantom, yeah.
0 redeeming qualities, and it
Just use
only
mending
exists
on your frickin'.
to be more annoying. To all of you who
The only reason they're good,
never
like, or somewhat good, is because of the thing.
mob, meaning they'll attack the player.
Or
That's
because of
obviously
the.
fine. The game needs enemies to make it more interesting. What makes the Phantoms so terrible, though, is
so
their
fine.
spawning mechanics. Instead of just spawning at night, their spawning is based on if the player hasn't slept for the past few nights. The more nights they don't sleep, the more Phantoms will spawn. They're also very annoying to fight since they're also flying mobs, so if you don't have a bow, good luck. They also can spawn pretty much anywhere as well, so if you're on the surface at night, there's pretty much no choice but to fight these things. Can't you just sleep in a bed to avoid them? Yeah, sure you can. Oh, unless you need to be out at night to collect resources. Oh, but that is done way better than the Phantom. Alright, but after all that ranting, does it at least drop something good? No. Phantom membranes can be used for a total of 2 things. One is repairing the Elytra, which may seem good until you remember that mending exists. Plus, by the time you not only have an elytra, but an almost broken one, you likely already have a mending book. So the only real use for Phantom Membranes are for brewing slow falling potions. This potion can be helpful, but it's very niche, so overall, the Phantom is less than worthless. It's got absolutely nothing going for it. Okay, well we can finally move away from the undeniable worst mob and start getting into some more that only suck a little. 74, the Trader Llama. So we set up a pen, bred them a bit, and the next day the babies were gone. Yeah, so apparently, unless they're tamed or on a lead, wandering trader llamas can despawn like hostile mobs. That is so incredibly stupid. Yes, I know it said that they despawn with the wandering trader, but they could have at least made it so their offspring don't also despawn. Chickens from chicken jockeys will also despawn, but while that can make them seem annoying to deal with, they did have one thing that saved them. I personally think that Vex was one of the coolest looking mobs in the game. I just love the color scheme, and the face was perfectly devious.
Yeah, that kind of is. They're
But
kind.
then they changed the design. I'm not sure what the common consensus